Ferrari, baby.
What's up everyone, and welcome to a very special video today. Today's actually a collab, and I'm going to introduce the other YouTuber in a second, but first off, let's introduce his car. This is, it's a freaking Ferrari! Letting me drive a Ferrari! He's even seen my videos before, and still letting me have a go. Don't worry, we have bargained though, so you got to make sure you check out his channel and go see what he thinks of 2 of my vehicles. That's what I had to bargain with him to get my hands on this. Today, I am going to be driving this absolutely gorgeous 1999 Ferrari 550. Let's go, baby! We're going to talk real rough about this because with cars like this, I'm not a specialist. I'm more of a fan. I'm an enthusiast. When I grew up, these were the generation of Ferraris that were being produced that allowed a young kid to dream and end up owning 2 Honda Civics when he was 30. But one day, maybe we'll get our hands on something as absolutely beautiful as this. My favourite out of every single thing, other than the rear end that we'll get to in a minute, is the long extended nose on this thing. It's such a really weird concept and it works so well. The nose on these cars is I mean, how long? It's longer than my arm. And I've got a good arm. This thing is absolutely beautiful, designed by Pininfarina. We've got, James has actually chosen, oh, I've actually introduced you before I've actually shown you. Give me the camera real quick. So this is JM on Cars, Mr. James Martin, who is being crazy enough to let me drive this absolutely beautiful machine. One of my favourite design things about these, and I can talk about the design all day long just because, like I said, I grew up idolising these cars. These, the 355, that I've also done a video on. Going on to the 360, etc. These are prime Ferrari. Like, to me, 90s Hondas are prime Hondas to me. These are the ones I grew up wanting, you know. So it's one of the things that when I get to see them in real life, like I said to James before we turn the camera on, I just want to kind of take it all in for a minute and just be with the car and just experience it. When I stand here looking at this rear end, the symmetry on it is, oh, it's so good. So you've got the dual rear lights on each side, you've got the dual exhaust pipes on each side. If you look bang down the centre of the car, in dead centre are the 3 air flowing vents in the interior of the car. I just absolutely adore it. It's simple and it's Ferrari, and that's what matters. It's not overcomplicated. On our brief drive over here, I got to experience the interior of this magnificent car. And one thing that I found bizarre, like I did in the other one, handbrakes here, which is so weird. It's just so weird. Is there a reason that Ferrari put them there?
I think it's to put you closer to the middle of the car.
Oh right, okay, so they must on the left-hand drive ones have it on the left-hand drive side. Wow, that's such a weird thing. Like, it seems like so excessive, but it's Ferrari, right? So I'm not going to argue with them. You've opted for the manual spec, sir. Thank you for that, as I've given you an automatic BMW to drive today. But you know, we've got a manual 90s Ferrari. I love how they're just so simple inside. If I just take the camera off you and swing her on in here, you can see it's all, this is before the time of technology, and I say that in a jokey sort of way, but in an honest sort of way too. It's a very wonderful place for someone like me that grew up around the 90s and wanting one day to dream of owning something like this, to actually be sat in it and be taking it in and being like, wow, okay, we're here, like, okay, this is the next stage and we get to drive it, and it's wonderful, and it's a Ferrari, man. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things. I don't think it matters what sort of cars you're into. A Ferrari is always a Ferrari. Yeah, you know, absolutely. Like, and like, I just can't wait to have a go. And I'm genuinely appreciate you even giving me the opportunity, man. So, should we take it out?
We can.
Cool. Let's do it. So before we take it out, we've got to have a look at the 5.5 litre V12 that is lurking under here, and I am very excited. Oh my goodness me, look at that beast. Now these produce, bear in mind this is a 1999 car, 478 horsepower, and oh god, these are like touring cars, aren't they? They were never made as like a race, they were race cars actually, weren't they? They did make them, but they were like...
Drive made some, but no, they're designed pure and simple as a GT car. Like 355 was quick around a track, like back then.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is the Tourer.
The Tourer, and look at that lump. Oh my god, man. I'm so excited to hear this thing. Oh, it's just absolutely beautiful. Now, as an owner of this vehicle, actually no, we'll talk about that in the car. We'll put the cameras in the car and we'll talk in the car, but wow, what a machine. Ferrari, baby. Look at that key. Can you see it there? How cool is that? Little tiny baby key for this massive car. Oh, and listen to that gearbox noise. Right, James, trust me. I mean, you were out with me on the ice, so I think it'll be good.
I think I trust you a lot more than you trust me.
Right, so while we're out in it, I might as well ask you a few questions, considering you own the whip. Why 550? Like, why one of these?
Good question. I mean, so I was on the hunt for, like, I wanted to buy my first supercar. Because the last time I went looking for a supercar, I wound up with something that wasn't a supercar. And I've done it again, because I don't consider this a supercar. But I had, like, a list of requirements, and there were a few things on there. Like, I really wanted a manual. I wanted something old school. And you're going to wind up going down there as well, which you've got to go
up and then down.
Yeah. So I wanted something really old school. Also, I don't like having like little useless back seats like in a 911 or something like that. Plus, I do love 911s, like genuinely love driving them, but I don't think they've got that special like wow factor. Like I had it with my Lotus when I had the Evora, and I was looking for that, and I wanted something pretty cool. And to be honest, I wanted a Ferrari of some sort.
Yeah.
But then reality hits, and it's like, what can I actually afford? And I always really wanted a 550, but they were too much money. It was really hard to find a car that I could afford that hadn't been completely trashed by its previous owners.
Yeah.
And I was looking, and this came up. And I had loads of miles on it, which is great, because Ferrari owners are allergic to mileage. And I... 95?
95, sorry.
And yeah, but it was at the price that I could afford because of the mileage, and it had been looked after. So yeah, I just worked like an absolute madman. But I mean, I first saw the 550 in the Apocalypse Clarkson VHS.
Right, yes.
From like 97, when they called it like the best handling car ever. And actually, to tell you the complete truth, the first time I ever got to drive one of these was just after I bought it. So I was putting a lot of faith in like other people.
Yeah. The thing is with cars like this is when you do grow up, and what I was trying to say is like the newer generation of kids that are growing up now won't understand what it's like for their Golf GTI to have, like you say, 150 horsepower.
Yeah.
Whereas you can go and buy a Golf R now for £200 a month and have it remapped, and you've got a supercar killer.
Yeah.
So when we were growing up, to have a supercar killer car, you basically built one in your garage properly, or you bought a supercar.
Yeah.
And it's like, I remember looking at these Ferraris, I had a poster of one of these on my wall. I have model cars of them still at home. Like, I truly, truly love them. And I feel like when they get to a certain age, it doesn't matter what the performance was anymore. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if it was a supercar or a Tourer, or it's just the feeling you get just by, like, I'm driving a Ferrari right now. This is so crazy. Like, guys, it's so it's so undramatic. It's just feels like I'm driving a very fast cloud. Does that make sense when I say that? Like, I'm very comfortable in this car. I feel like the driving position's very comfortable, great visibility all round. Like, even in this rear view mirror, I can see everything out the back. Massive side mirrors. It doesn't sing like the 355. You know, the 355 had that like real raspy. Maybe. Hang on, let's just undo.
Oh, this has a rasp. The 355 Wales. Above 4 grand, it'll sing.
Oh yeah! Oh. Oh, it's still unapologetically a Ferrari, isn't it? That noise is... The low-down torque is absolutely beautiful. Yes! Oh my god! I'm literally giggling like a school child right now. This is... I'm a little bit speechless. This is like such a cool thing to be doing.
But that's why Ferrari though. That's what you asked me why I bought a 550. Now you know.
It's just so cool. I think that's the thing. It's just so cool. Like, I don't care what anybody says. I think that if you grew up in our era, you'll always look at a car and go, oh damn, that's a Ferrari. You know, like, oh damn, that's one of those Ferrari things. Wow, that long nose as well, considering how long it is, doesn't affect how you drive it, because it slopes off, doesn't it? It does not when I first saw it, I was like, oh my god, I really hope I don't, you know, I don't mess up with that. But like, even now, I feel really confident behind the wheel of it. Like,
yeah, I mean, he genuinely, this is his first time driving this, and you're doing fine. Like,
oh god, it's a freaking Ferrari, man. I don't know if there is a better sounding engine than a Ferrari engine from the 90s, and if there is, I'm yet to be driving one. Doing a public service, let that guy hear it as we went past him on his push bike. God, it's so good, man. Wow.
You want to do your first gear pull, it's clear behind us, so just around here is probably the best place to do it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I haven't done one, so it's...
Can I put my foot, can we just see what happens?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's even better than I thought it was going to be, dude. The little rev limit room it's got on it is like, they do know how to build a car, don't they, the old Italians?
Yep.
Oh god, man, thank you so much for letting me have a go in this, mate.
That's
honestly,
right.
like, oh god, man, it's just so good.
I love this car because, like me, it has no patience for idiots.
Yep.
Like, it'll punish instantly. If you know how to drive, it will give you back, like, so
joy.
much.
Yeah. I love it. I truly, truly do love it. Give you these back.
There you go.
Once again, I've driven a car I can't afford and I've fallen completely and utterly in love with it. I can't explain how much of a treat this has been. So James, Mr. JM on Cars, thank you so much for this opportunity. It's been absolutely amazing. This car almost resembles one of my favourite creatures on the planet, which is a shark. I feel like how it looks, it's in every essence of a shark, in my opinion, a great white shark. It looks a bit like a shark, it's very calm, cool and collected until you need it to do its job, and when it becomes a shark, it becomes a shark. When you want this to become a Ferrari, it becomes a Ferrari. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. It's a slightly different type of car on my main channel. If you're watching this on the review channel, make sure you hit subscribe. Trust me, there's going to be a lot of content coming to this very soon, all very similar to this and all very different to this too. I want to thank you very much. Please make sure you check out Mr. JM on Cars YouTube channel, as well as mine if you're one of his followers over here. Right, that's me signing out. Thank you very much again, guys. Peace.